Here we have our standard third law question. We have a small bug hitting a big truck, and just to be clear, they have equal and opposite impulses. The reason the effect on the bug is bigger is that the bug has less mass and is, well, softer. Now here. An egg hits concrete and breaks. Another identical egg is dropped from the same height, hits the trampoline, and bounces back at the original speed it hit with. It doesn't break. So, which egg has a smaller change in momentum and why? Let's be really clear. The one that breaks experienced a smaller change in momentum because it stopped. The force may be bigger on it, but we're not asking about force. We're asking about change in momentum, which is mv minus mu. So the egg that broke simply had mv minus mu as its impulse, where v is just going to be 0, whereas the egg that doesn't break has some kind of negative upward speed. And so the absolute value is going to end up being bigger. All right, number 13. We are going to use conservation of momentum here. By the way, for those that are wondering, the rule for momentum and impulse. When you have one object, use impulse momentum. When you have two objects, use conservation of momentum. So here we go. We're going to use m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals m1 v1 plus m2 v2, like this. Now let's put in our numbers. We're going to have 0.34, and let's actually label this carefully. We're going to say the potato is m1 and the cart is m2. So what that means is we don't know the initial speed of the potato. We know the cart starts off at rest. We know the potato bounces back, which means it's a negative velocity at negative 0.2, and the cart, which has a mass of 5 kilograms, rolls forward at positive 2 meters per second. I'm going to actually simplify this here rather than doing all of the algebra. I'll leave that as an exercise for you. So when I simplify this, it looks like I'm getting u1 equal to about 29.2 meters per second. Next, we have a ball striking a stationary person in the chest. He catches it and they roll forward. So let's just label some things. I'm going to label it like this. So m1, u1, v1, m2, u2, v2. This is a nice way of organizing the information. Sorry. And then m2, u2, v2. And we'll label it carefully like this. So m1 is 6, m2 is 85, u1 is 8, u2 is 0 because he's stationary. v1 and v2, well, it actually turns out they're both equal to an unknown v that we're going to calculate in a second because they're the same and they're unknown. So here we go. m1 u1 plus m2 u2 equals m1 v1 plus m2 v2. And we'll plug in now. So 6 times 8 plus 85 times 0 equals 6 times v plus 85 times v. So we're going to end up getting 48 equals 91 times v. And when we actually isolate, we're going to get our speed equal to 0.53 meters per second. All right, so that is the next page on the practice test.